Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is Ron Jenkins. I am back. Thanks for joining me. Um, Today, I wanted to do a quick video utilizing supply and demand, high and lows, and basically showing you a very simple 5-step method to marking your charts. This is something that I put together in a training for my team, my trading team, and I thought that I would just share it and give it out because it was a really quick and simple way to for someone new to get started. So let's get to charting. So step number one to our 5-step charting method. The first thing you want to do is pick a pair and find your highs and your lows. Okay. Now, when you're looking at the chart, sometimes you have to go back a little bit in time to find your true high and your true low. So I have my screen pulled up right now. We're looking at British pound, JPY, and right now I see price over here to my right. But I truly don't think this is the high. So just to check, we're just going to go a little to the left, and that's a higher high. Okay, so actually, I think, yeah, right here. So I think we're going to use that high. Let's do this. Let's squinch this up a bit. That way we could fit. There we go. So we could fit it in the whole screen. Hopefully you can see it okay. And then we identify our low here. So I'm just going to really quick, step one, really quick, just go up to my tools, and we're going to place a horizontal line at the top of your high. And we're going to place a horizontal line at the bottom of your low, like so. Okay, so now we have identified our highs and our lows. And now we also have a playing field for our analysis, and we've basically marked our end zones. If you look at it kind of like football, these are our end zones. We're marking up our territory so that we can effectively implement a play against our team, the other team. And who's the other team? The other team is the smart money, the bankers, right? They're the ones that we're trying to follow and see what they're doing. So we want to mark our field so that we could come up with a game plan. That's all we're doing. Okay, so we've identified our highs and lows. That was step one. Real simple, right? Okay, so let's move on to step two. Step two, the idea of this is supply and demand. And sometimes I get in the mood to where I trade engulfing candles. So we're going to use engulfing candles to identify. First, we have to identify our engulfing candles. So let's do that. Because engulfing candles are a really good signal for reversals and starting of a new trend. Okay. So if we look at price, actually, if we look at the high, we want to find the engulfing candle that's closest to the high that we've already selected. Okay, so if we look right next to our high, this is why I picked it, because we have a bearish engulfing candle. Okay, so we've identified that. Now, do we have a bullish engulfing candle? If we go down to our low, notice that we have a bullish engulfing candle. Okay, so that's step two. That's it. Identifying the engulfing candles. Now, on to step three. Step three, we want to mark up our supply zone and our demand zone. And my method for this, I mean, you could, if you have another method, that's fine. I'm just going to show you what my methodology is for doing this really simple chart markup. We want to go up to the top and take our little box there, okay? Let's move this out the way a little bit. All right, we want to, so we've selected our box tool, and we want to box up the price, the not the high and low of the engulfed candle, but the price of the engulfed candle. So the price would be just the body, okay? So we're gonna go here, and that's what we're gonna do. Okay, and you just, if you do that, then the only thing you have to do, because we want to extend this all the way across back and forth on a horizontal level. So once you click on it, if you just come over here and hit settings, you could go to here, go to coordinates, and you can put a 1 there, and you notice how it went all the way to the right, and then you could put a negative here, and it goes the opposite direction. Also, what I want to do, just for the sake of charting and keeping things simple, we want to go to the color, and I want to change my color to let me know and just to remind me that this is bearish, okay? So our bearish candles are the candles that go down. They're red on this particular chart. So red, red, red. Notice how it went down. Okay, so those are our bearish candles. So we have identified the engulfing candle that signifies that this could be a potential reversal zone. Hit click OK. And we're going to do the same thing for our supply zone, our demand zone down below here. So we're going to find our engulfing candle in the demand zone, which is going to signify that we're going to go up. So we're going to do the same thing again. Let's grab our box, and we're going to box up price. Start here, look at your lowest low point, and then look across here to see if you see, which is right here, engulfing candle. I should say engulfed candle, right? And we just want to box up the price, okay? I extended to make sure that we're just kind of getting price. And this is just to give you an idea where the reversal is, okay? So let's go up to settings. Oh, let's change the color. Let's do that first. So we're going to do this one blue. And we're going to do the fill color blue, right? And then we're going to go to settings, go to coordinates. We're going to put a 1 there. And we are going to put a negative there, okay? And click OK. So we have marked supply and demand zones for our chart. That's it. That's how you mark your supply and demand zone. So next is step 4. Step 4, what we want to do is identify different levels of support and resistance that price has come to in the past. So we know currently price is here. And this isn't moving right now because I'm actually recording this on the weekend. So the Forex market is currently closed. So we're just, but we know this is where price closed at. All right. So we want to mark our support and resistance zone. What I do, very simply, let's move this over just a tad bit. Okay. What I do is I grab my horizontal line, and for those that don't know, or if you have a different method, I'm just going to explain how I identify support and resistance levels, potential support and resistance levels. Okay. What I look for is an area that has been touched at least 2 times. Okay, so if I'm looking at a zone, I tend to go for consolidation areas or where price is kind of jumbled up. And then that's where I start at, closest to one of the zones. So if we look right in here, we notice that we're just going to place a line, and then we can adjust it accordingly. So if we look here, we can easily tell that price has come to this zone several times, right? As resistance. So if we look up, look, price is just bouncing off, bouncing off, bouncing off, bouncing off, bouncing off, all through here. So this is telling me that this is potentially a good area of support and resistance. That's a pretty good level. Okay, if we look in the past, I'm pretty sure we'll also see price at this level somewhere else. I almost guarantee it. Okay, and then from there we just keep going down. I try to get a few different levels when I'm doing this. We can just hit control and drag, and it looks like another zone right in here. Okay, this looks like another zone, and the reason I chose this for a zone, again, we have a breakout, we have a bounce, they continue to come. We have support here to where it came up. We have support here, but then we have a breakout. It retested. So it's touched this area several times as well. So this is also a good zone for us to keep an eye out for breakouts and potential reversals. So, and we're going to just keep doing this. Bring it down to this level, right? This is another, I think, good level. We have at least 2 touches to this zone here, this level, as well as over here is being used as we have a breakout, and then it turns into resistance. Okay, if we look closer to price over here, look, the same thing. We went above, but we came through, it retested, it touched, it touched, it touched, right? So that's also a good zone for us to look at and identify. I see another potential zone right in here as I'm just perusing down the chart. So we're going to just take a piece there, and here's our line. Okay, and we create another zone right about there. Okay, I see another one here. And as you do this and you practice, you'll get quicker and a whole lot faster with identifying zones. So look at all this touch, right? So it broke out. We have a little bounce up in here. It came back up. It became a support, touch, touch, went up, hit resistance, touch, came down, back, bounce, came back up. So this is another really good zone that we're looking for. And then I try to find one a little closer to support. And this will probably be like the last one maybe. So if we look in this zone, let's just grab a line. And we're actually thinking probably like right in here, because I see the reason I'm choosing this area and not right at the top. If you look at price right in this area. Look at price right here. Look at price right here. Look at the breakout right here, right? So this is telling me that this is the ideal zone as well. Okay, so that's basically your support and resistance. We have a few lines on the chart, and this will give us an idea of the levels that prices come to over the course of the past few days. So the fifth and last step, guys, we want to identify, we would like to identify our trend lines. So what I do is we look at the low, right? We start at the low. Here's our low. Remember we identified that low? Okay. Now, in order to create a zone, like I said earlier when we were doing support and resistance, the same rules apply. You want at least 2 touches to be able to identify a trend. So that means your starting point of your low, and then you want to see a pullback to that area, okay? Once you see a pullback, then you could use that point as a marker, and that's your 2 points. So what do I mean by that? So let's use our ray. If we go down here to our low and just click on it. So notice, watch how I'm doing this. Notice price broke out, it came up, and then we see a pullback, okay? And we're gonna put this pullback right at price, okay? To identify our trend, okay? So right in that zone is perfect. The very first touch is where you want to go with your trend, okay? So right in that zone, I'll put it nice and tight next to price, and then you notice it wicked on the next couple of candlesticks and hit price as well. So that's telling me that's a good zone, and it potentially could be the start of a trend, and that's the first bounce. And we'll talk about that in the next episode, part 2. So that's the 5 steps to marking up your charts, guys. It's really simple. It's really crude. Make sure you watch part 2 of this video, and we're going to talk about entries and how to utilize this with what we just marked. Okay, so thanks for joining me. As always, hopefully you found some value in this video. And please like, share, subscribe, and join me on the other social media sites. And you can find me at Chef Ron Jenkins on Facebook and Instagram, as well as here on YouTube. Okay, so thanks. You all have a good day, and I'll see you on the next video.